still be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready.
Hey cuties, and welcome back to another CC haul for kids and toddlers. As always with my videos, you can find links to all of the CC in the description down below. Of course, I also added numbers and categories to this video to make life a little bit more easy for you guys. And I also know what a struggle it is to find good CC for kids and toddlers, especially if you're more into MAXIS Match than Alpha. So I'll make sure to link two playlists right now that have CC videos for both kids and toddlers in them. So if after this CC haul you are still in need of some cute toddler and kid CC, you can check out those playlists, and there's a bunch of videos that feature kids and toddler CC. So, you know, knock yourself out if you want to. But without further ado, let's get straight into this video. As always, it's gonna take a while, so sit back, relax, let's just talk about life. I am currently back in my Netflix era. I know it has been super long since I last was in a phase where I watched a lot of shows or TV, Netflix, whatever, but currently I'm just in the mood. Maybe it's because it's super cold outside. It's just so cozy to like cuddle up with a series and get in bed, get all cozy, drink a tea whilst you watch something. And I have just started watching a show called Sweet Tooth, which is so freaking adorable. It kind of combines a lot of things I love in series, because here's the thing, I am usually a girly that likes two different types of shows, and they couldn't be any more different, to be honest. I am either into very bad, well, let's not say bad, trashy into very trashy teenage high school things. Love all of it. Like I don't know, it's just such good entertainment for me. And then the other types of shows I usually watch are like horror or thriller related, and like I said, couldn't be more different. I don't know what's wrong with me, but those tend to be like the two shows that I'm drawn to most. And Sweet Tooth is kind of a show that is like sci-fi slash maybe even a bit fantasy. Well, I don't know, I would say sci-fi. It's about this world where a disease started, and the disease might have caused hybrids between like humans and animals, and there's a lot of shit that goes down from there, you know, people hunting them and other people trying to protect them and stuff like that. And I have just realized another show because of that show, because of Sweet Tooth, I've just realized another genre of shows that I'm really into, which is like apocalyptic things. I think it's just so interesting because once our current way of life kind of gets broken up by an apocalypse, because of whatever reason, you know, so I don't really watch zombie things because most of them I think are not that good. But maybe there is some that I just haven't watched. But you know, maybe because of a virus or whatever. It's just so interesting because you kind of start with like a blank page, and you can really get so creative as either an author or someone who produces a series, because you have this like blank page of what you're gonna do with humankind, you know, how are they gonna evolve. And usually the main thing is that people start fighting each other once there is no laws anymore and no one really controlling the laws. So that's that's very cheerful. But you know, it's just so interesting to me because so many things can happen. There's just so much potential, and that show so far, I think I'm like 4 or 5 episodes in. That show so far has just have so many great characters, and that is what really gets me hooked. I feel like when I watch something, and not only am I interested in the storyline, but also kind of grow close to the characters. And the characters in that show, what can I say? They're just really great, and I love them, and it's been a fun ride so far. I think there's only 8 episodes, so I'm probably gonna finish this show like today or tomorrow, which I am not happy about. Do you ever get into this like crisis after finishing either a show or a book series or something, and then you're just like, shoot, what am I gonna do with my life now? Like, it's all over for me now, you know. Nothing can ever be as great as this show. It's so hard. But yeah, if you have any other series recommendations, it really doesn't matter what it is. I kind of watch everything. I also watched shows like Riverdale, and I had a grand old time. I think you just have to go into it with the right mindset. You know, I kind of went into Riverdale being like, this is pure entertainment, okay? This is not going to be a great show. This is not going to be like the best acting. This is not going to be the craziest like storyline, whatever. I was just like, I'm just here for the entertainment, and it gave me exactly that, and it was a fun ride. I haven't watched it in so long though, so God knows what happened with that show by now. No idea. And then there's also that new show that came out. Shoot, what is it called? I think, is the title the name of the girl who's in the show? Shoot, I literally just looked at it earlier, but my brain it just can't remember a lot of information recently, but I'm sure most of you have heard of it. It's about this show with a girl who has, does she have pigtails? Does she have two black pigtails? Is this show called Willow or something? I don't know, I feel like it's called something like that. Probably something completely different, but I think she has two black pigtails, and from what I've seen from the trailers, it's her not getting on in her current school and her being a little bit different, and then she gets taken to this like other school full of, I think, people who have magic abilities. I don't know. That's what it seemed like. That's very broken down, by the way. That's definitely not gonna be what the show is about, but that is what I have seen in the trailer so far, and I wanted to start watching it today whilst working on this video, but it is just that type of show where I know it would just be for pure entertainment as well, you know, it wouldn't be like the craziest thing I've ever watched, but I wanted to watch it, and I feel like a lot of Netflix shows do that, where kind of like the atmosphere and the people around our main character and the music is so loud that it's really hard to hear what the people are saying. Like the show just starts by our main character like walking through the school corridor, and I could not hear her thoughts. I was like, girl, what are you saying? Just because the surrounding sound was so overwhelmingly loud that I was like, this is ridiculous. And it happens to me with a lot of shows on Netflix where, I don't know, I think it's for like dramatic effect. They just up the music and the surround sounds so much that I'm like, I can't understand what people are saying. Like, what the heck? Unless I literally sit there and try to lip read at the same time, I won't be able to hear what they're saying. And it's not even a language barrier or anything. I feel like I would have the same thing if it was a German show. It's just that everything is so loud that I can't make out the words. I'm like, I don't understand you. And I don't know why they do that. I can't be the only person who feels like that. I can't be the only person who gets frustrated with those shows, because you're like, technically I would need subtitles, but I'm watching a show in a language that I understand because I don't want to read subtitles, you know, because I'm working at the same time and I can't read subtitles while it's at work. And I understand the language, so why do you make the voices so quiet? It's just so bothering. And I feel like it happens a lot with the thriller and like horror-ish genre that I like to watch, because the voices are like very quiet and then the music is very dramatic, and you know, you hear like every little creak in the background, and I'm like, yeah, cool and all, like it does get me on edge, but I still want to hear what the people have to say, you know. I'm not watching like a wildlife documentary. I want to hear people. And it's just so frustrating. I don't know. I feel like I can't be the only one. So let me know if there's ever been a show where you were like, why are the voices so quiet? And there's shows who only do it for like certain parts of the episode, but there's also shows that are completely like that from beginning to end. And I'm like, that's just so frustrating. But yeah. Before that, I literally haven't touched Netflix in so many weeks, maybe even months. It's so weird because I feel like I go through phases, and then I also think nowadays with all of like the different streaming platforms, it's just gone wild. Earlier I was just like, I used to watch American Horror Story. I watched up to, I think, season 8. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just pick it up where I left it off. It went on Netflix. It's not on Netflix anymore. So I Google, and it's now on, I think, Disney Plus and maybe on some other things. But your girl's not gonna subscribe to like 10 different streaming platforms just to watch one show I'm interested in. It's not gonna happen. And I think it's so crazy because you just like technically to watch everything nowadays that you're interested in, you would have to have so many different subscriptions, and that is just so unrealistic. Like unless you have a full-time job that pays well and you're not bothered about paying like 100 euros for all the different streaming platforms, you know, no one's really gonna watch the shows, and it's disappointing. And also another thing I want to rant about is I do have Amazon Prime, right? I have Amazon Prime and Netflix. And Amazon Prime, I never use it to watch any shows because their platform is so ugly. Like it's so ugly, especially if you're just on browser on your PC. It doesn't make any sense. You never get any suggestions. It's just so ugly. You never see what's included with Amazon Prime and what is just included in Prime Video, but you have to pay for it. And it's so bothering, even on, if you're like on your iPad or iPhone or phone, and not everyone has Apple. You know, if you're just on your phone or whatever, you can filter it by things that are free for you, but that's not the automatic setting, and it's very hard to see and figure out what is free and what isn't with Amazon Prime, and therefore I never use it. So I pay for it mainly for deliveries, I'm not gonna lie, but it's just I don't understand how a big company like that has such a shitty streaming platform. But anyways, there's not much time left on this video, so I can't go on ranting forever. I guess you just got a little bit of a ragey me, which I think can be fun. Sometimes I love listening to people when they rage about random stuff, but you also, you know, got an insight on what I'm watching right now. So I hope that was fun for you. Let me know what you're watching. If you don't leave a recommendation, at least please tell me what you're currently watching, or what was the last thing you watched that you really enjoyed, or what are your favorite shows. I'd be so curious to hear that because I find it really hard to find good shows, okay? So I need your recommendations. And with that said, this video is coming to an end real shortly here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you loved all of the CC. And if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you all next time. Bye.
You call me when you're lonely. I guess I let her go. Never mind, it's too late. But I can't believe I let you slip. I think about it 7 days a week, and this just can't be how it's supposed to end up. It's not enough, and maybe time will make you fade. But I don't know if I'm ready to just let you go away, like my friends think I should.